So you're in the labor camps. How did you get out? And what's that story of you transitioning and really leaving this communist regime? I mean, how did you accomplish a feat like that?
Yes, I think for my labor camp sentence was a year. So for the first half, for the first 6 months, every day I struggled to maintain my sanity and try not to be reformed by them. And suddenly I remember very clearly in October 2000, that was 6 months after I was arrested for the first time. I somehow, because I witnessed and I experienced too much, like I said, on the first day, I thought I was, somehow transformed to the last concentration camp during Second World War. I couldn't believe this was 21st century. So after 6 months of witnessing us experiencing all this unprecedented crime, I suddenly developed a very strong impulse or a desire to write a book and tell my story, to tell what I see, what I experience in the labor camp to the entire world, because I know how huge this evil is and what it meant for the human history. Because I had some education, I look at the human history from a bigger angle, so I understand the importance. So after I suddenly developed that strong desire, of course, immediately I was faced with a dilemma. If I don't reform, I can never be released. If I want to write this book, I have to be reformed. So that was a very, very hard struggle, mental struggle for me. The struggle itself to transform or not to transform nearly killed me for another 1,000 times. It was worse, far worse than any physical torture, electric shocks, slave labor camp I experienced before. And after a very, very long mental battle within myself, I guess more than a week or something, I finally forced myself to write a statement to promise them that I won't practice Falun Gong anymore. And then, like I told you, I thought after that they would let me go. They would think I have been transformed, but the reality is not. So in the remaining 6 months in the labor camp, every day I had to struggle between, not want to tell a lie and can't tell a truth. What can I say? And I have to write long, long essays to try to convince them that I have been reformed without betraying too much of my consciousness, of my conscience, of my principles. I still hold true in my heart. Sometimes I feel after practicing truth, compassion, and forbearance for more than 2 years, betraying these principles is like killing myself. So I prayed for many, many times that I pray that no any other human being in the future would ever be submitted to what I was submitted anymore. That was too cruel. I think there were so many times I couldn't make peace with myself. I couldn't reconcile all these things. I couldn't convince myself what I'm doing is really correct. what I choose to do is not against my will. It's not doing more harm than good. And I can't discuss this matter with anybody because they have people surrounding me 24 hours. Even if I go to the bathroom, they have people follow me and watch all the process. I have no 1 minute of privacy. Even if when I slept, when I went into my dream, I prayed, don't let my dreams betray my secret, because sometimes people speak while they dream, because the police they really want to find out what's really in my mind. I write something, I think for me, I've already sold my souls 1,000 times, but for them, those things are still not enough. They still are not 100% sure whether I have been transformed or not. So every day, nobody knows how hard the battles are. I have no friend, I have no people to discuss, to talk about, and I have to make all these decisions myself, and to battle with my own conscience, and to try to resist the priest's pressure, but at the same time, I want to convince them that I have been transformed. I will not practice Falun Gong anymore. I will not do them any harm if they release me. So I do recommend everyone go get a copy of my book, Witnessing History, One Woman's Fight for Freedom and Falun Gong, to really get to the details how on every single step I managed to stay sane and overcome all the atrocities and survive all this, and still be able to talk to you today.